Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, family and friends, welcome back to another episode where we'll be talking to Nav Singh, a sports scientist at Arsenal Football Club, arguably one of the biggest football clubs in the world. You decide that. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Nav Singh here today. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good, thank you very much. I'm good. How are you?
Wicked. I'm doing well too. I'm doing well too. Now, in the last episode, we left on a very intriguing question. How can we get our sons and daughters into the professional game of football? And we'll be getting into that question very soon. But first, we want to talk about your current situation, how you want to do another project in India. But COVID has been, not the nicest of things going around for many people. I mean, what kind of things have you been up to during the COVID outbreak?
So obviously, experiencing lockdown was difficult. I actually got the chance to go home for the first time in around 10 years for longer than 2 to 3 weeks. But all the projects that were kind of building at that time in March had to be put on pause because of COVID. So it was a difficult experience, but um, a great quote is "What is delayed isn't denied," right? You can always start it again. So
So during your lockdown season, did you guys actually, still do any work from home? Did you still go to the Emirates Stadium, or did you just stay at home, spend time with family and friends?
yeah, it was very hard to do our daily job, right? We're not on the training pitch. We're not with the players. We can't interact with the players. So it ended up becoming a very small group of individuals, and obviously we had to be home as well, like the world. We had to be locked down and isolated. So it was just a chance to reset, be with family, which I had an amazing experience, an insightful experience to be with my family and chill there and see them.
I think it's at these times where you can appreciate most spending time with your family, because especially having a full-time profession, you don't always get the chance to spend time with your family. And talk about, the lockdown. I've had a lot of time to spend time with my family too, and I haven't played football for about 3, 4 years. So it gave me the chance to start practicing my football. So I'm sure you've seen some of my videos online too. And
I
you
think what's
can,
amazing that you just said is, and especially this topic of like Asians and Sikhs within football. I remember following your page and through social media, and I was just like, you don't see that, and you to do the stuff that you're doing with the tricks and being a Sikh yourself and with the full start, I was like, this is amazing, right? Like this is amazing. We haven't got this, and we don't have this space, and we need more support, not just from people playing the professional game, but everything that comes with the game, the love of the game, the love of a certain skill, the videos. Do you know what I mean? So it was amazing to see the work that you do and interact with you, and then now we're here having this conversation, right? It all leads to something, which is really good to see.
it's amazing. It's amazing what Maharaj does and brought us to this path. It's fantastic. So what was your favorite video? I'm sure you've seen quite a few of them. Which one would you say is your
And
favorite
mine was
skill?
the one where you was in the cage fence, and then I think you flick the ball up and you put it in the top bins. The basketball
Oh
fence. It
yeah.
was on the playground bit. Yeah, that was my favorite one,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
It's got to
yeah.
be. I remember that one. I was texting straight away. I was like, I messaged you. I remember messaging you saying, mate, amazing, great work.
Oh,
I put
thank you,
like
man.
loads of
Maharaj is
fire
the best.
emojis almost.
Wicked, wicked. No, it's all thanks to Maharaj really, because I haven't actually played football for about 3, 4 years. So books of university, school, college. So time kind of flies by. But books of lockdown, we get the time to spend with family, carry on with our hobbies. Some people even had new hobbies. I mean, other than football, do you have any hobbies?
Other than football, obviously I like to exercise. I'm a big sporting person. I love the gym. I box frequently. Um, yeah, really, that's about it. I'm very kind of sport driven is what kind of gets me going, and then seeing family and friends, man. Like I'm very close to my family. I like to see them a lot and just spending time with them and chill, because the nature of elite sport, it can be a bit stressful, right? It can be quite competitive, and sometimes you just need to pause and just relax and do nothing.
Definitely. Would you say that your family have played a key role in getting you where you are today?
Without a doubt, they're the foundation. they are the foundation of where I am today, right? Without them, I wouldn't be who I am. So for
Definitely.
sure, like I'm massively grateful to them. I love them to bits for everything that they've done for me.
Definitely. And now is the time where you can spend more time with them as well. So you're giving something back to them as well. So it is a blessing in disguise, which is fantastic. So talking about the game of football, especially up and in football as well, it's not you don't see many professional footballers who have, faces like ourselves on TV. So how can we get to that kind of stage? How can we get our youngsters to become professional footballers?
What I love about what you've just asked there is you haven't asked why, you've asked how. A lot of the times I spend in interviews is people saying, "Why have we not done this? Why was there not enough Asian?" That is the first time, Flex, that I've been asked how. How are we going to do it without? Forget the past. The past is what it is. We can't change it. We've got to now look forward. We've got to be present, right? And I think having this conversation with you now is a step. Seeing the work that you do behind the scenes and in sport is a step. There's so many other individuals that are in elite sport that are from an Asian background that are not professional footballers. So they're now creating those little steps in order to progress this actual um, goal of ours to get involved in elite sport in any sport, especially with football, but in any sport. So for me, it's the how is we need now to educate our community on what it actually takes to be footballers. We need to support one another. That's one big thing I say. We need to support the community in trying to get far within sport. We need to break the stigma of sport isn't for you. It's not good. It's a stereotype. Is once you're 16, no, you got to stop playing football. And I've heard that so many times with the past generations and with the future generations that I'm now seeing. You don't want to see sport forced upon kids, but there's many distractions for kids now that what I used to have was just the football and that'd be it. I didn't have the access to the computer games of this world, the mobile phone world and the TikToks and all this stuff. I didn't have access to those things. So it's now a battle of trying to create a space or a message that is more important than those things that will educate our kids and actually get them in our faces and be like, look, we want to play football, we want to do this, right? So kind of gone off on a tangent there, but I think the big one is educating our community more so now.
Definitely. And that reminds me on a very inspirational story on how Jamie Vardy, Leicester footballer and England striker as well, how he got into the game of football. And he was actually playing semi-pro, I believe, and he joined professional at the age of 25. And most people give up the dreams, like you said, at around 16, 18, but he stick to his game at semi-pro level and became a professional footballer at the age of 25. How incredible is that?
Yeah, for sure. You never give up, right? You never give up. You take each day by day. And one thing I'll say is the opportunities that we're not getting because of X or Y. Um, I understand that they're hard to take and they're hard to swallow because we have had people in the past that have been good enough to play the professional game, that are from a Sikh background, that are from an Asian background. And I understand that wholeheartedly. But that just shows now we still got to keep going. We still got to do it. We
Definitely.
have to we have to try harder. Do you know what I
Hmm.
mean? And I know it's hard. I know it's difficult to say, and some people might judge it, but I've got to stay positive, right? And I've got to stay. We have to stay motivated in the message and the goal. We've got to try harder. We've got to keep going. People like myself,
Definitely.
people like you. There's people in the industry. So many people in the industry right now from an Asian background. Even coaches. We never had these 10 years ago. My my inspiration to move to London was I met the first coach from an Indian background in Nav Singh, who's based out in Hitchin, who runs Khalsa Football Federation. Full the star, full Singh, and I was just like, wow. And I rang him up, and he was an unbelievable coach, but I never knew he existed
Mhm.
until I read the back of a newspaper and be like, wow, I didn't know that was the case. And that's all I had at the time. I didn't have social media, right? So
Yeah,
yeah, so that's what inspired me. And if we can get more kids inspired, not just through the work that I'm doing as at Arsenal, through the work you're doing and other people, we just keep inspiring individuals. Hopefully, it will have a knock-on effect, right?
Definitely, definitely. And I think it's not just about working hard. I think it's also about working smart too. Like you mentioned, we've got a lot of good athletes, a lot of good youngsters, but they're not getting quite the opportunities that they should deserve, like other people from other communities. So we can maybe work hard and work smart at the same time and create these opportunities, create these football trials for these major teams. Maybe you working at Arsenal, you can maybe offer opportunities for youngsters from our community to have trials at Arsenal, maybe just like an idea, or help out in India and help out with other teams.
Yeah, I think it'd be hard to do something like that and say that over the meeting like this, but
Yeah, of
in
course. It's just
actual
an idea.
um, but in terms of educating our young Sikh community and making them athletes and an understanding of what it actually means to be footballers, we can do that. Mentorships,
Definitely.
actually supporting them, right? Um, Believing in them. I'm a big believer. I use a term called an African proverb called Ubuntu, right? I am because we
Okay.
are. So basically, my internal is affected by my external. So who is around me will determine how I move, how I act, what I do, right? And I think if we create
Hmm.
that same space for young Sikh kids within sport, where they see around them, it will affect their internal, right? When they see
Hmm.
opportunity, when they see guidance, when they see the mentorship, when they see support, they will then build the building blocks that will then get them to maximize their opportunity of playing professional football or professional sport. Because I believe that journey is God given, right? It's so many people that want to play the game of football at professional level, so it's the journey and it's a gift. It's a beautiful gift that people get, is to do the dream of playing that sport and many other sports. So I wouldn't want to promise anything on anyone, but I say if you have those building blocks, you have a great chance.
Most definitely. Most definitely. And I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but if we were to give the people watching up from home, some youngsters watching from home, 5 tips or your top 3 tips on what they need to train on every day or the type of mindset they need to have to become a professional footballer or even to help out within the sport, what kind of advice would you give?
For the young Asian footballer or the young Asian athlete, okay. Um, they have to feel that they can believe that their dreams are possible, right? So I go back to the external. I think the people around them have to give them the environment that they can pursue the thing that they love to do. And if it is sport, then you have to push that. So I think giving that environment is perfect, is essential for any young kid. For because yeah, it's so tricky because with young children, like they're still growing up, right? To state that they've got to be disciplined at such a young age is hard for me
Yeah,
because they're growing. They've got to have
definitely.
fun, right? They've got to love what they do. They've got to love their environment, right? They've got to love that environment, and then hopefully just be obsessed in the thing that they wish to do. If it is football, just show that love. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
For that particular
Definitely.
thing of a sport that you wish to do, show those attributes, right? If you're wearing the kit every day, that's an amazing sign. If you're playing football every day, you're
Definitely.
being active, that's an amazing sign. If you're sat at home and you're on your iPhone and you're not playing the game, and you're not wearing the kit, but then say I want to be a professional footballer, you're not showing the young attributes that I want to see. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. It makes sense. I want to pick on a point where you said you have to have fun. I think that's just such a powerful term that you used there, because a lot of times people take it seriously, and after a week or two, they tend to get really angry with themselves, to get frustrated. But at the end of the day, if you just have fun and you take it serious at the same time, you can't go wrong. Because if you do fail, you're doing it for fun. You're playing with your mates. If you do have fun and you succeed, it's a win-win situation, right?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. And some of the greatest athletes in this world have an unbelievable reason why they do what they do. Like some of them will come from really um, poverty-stricken areas, families
Mm.
where they're not fully they're not in financially secure positions, right? So like some of the greatest athletes have got some of the strongest, most deepest stories. And I don't wish anyone to have circumstances like that. But when you can create your reason why, and it's a good reason why, it will focus your attention to whatever it is that you need to do, right? If it's just on being
Definitely.
financially secure, that's the reason why. But there's so many ways of doing that, right? If it's, oh, I want to be a professional footballer, but why do you want to be a professional footballer? Does that make sense? What else is it doing? How important is that for you? And if those signs are there around them, I think that will then, you'll see that individual grow even more immensely.
I totally agree with you there, and I think that the idea of becoming a professional footballer, it's like it's a dream for everyone, but not everyone knows what it actually takes for someone to become a professional footballer. Like the level of commitment and hard work you need to put in, and the smart play you need to put in every day is unbelievable. So for someone to say, "I want to become a professional footballer," that's great, but are you putting in that work? And why are you doing this, which you mentioned earlier as well? I mean, for some people, they love it for the money, but football is not the only way to make money at the pro level. You can do many other things, many other routes, like become a sports scientist yourself. That's one way of making a profession, and many other ways too. And of course, a lot of people like playing football. It doesn't have to be at a pro level. Could be a semi-pro, could be a local grassroots Sunday league team, Saturday league team. As long as you're having fun, that's the main message, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I'm so blessed and humbled to have this opportunity to interview with yourself and be on this stage right now, and to use the Sikh faith of what my roots there. It's taught me so much about like seva is a big thing in my life, the selfless act to give to others without any return. And I believe that this message that I do is my form of seva. And one thing I've definitely learned about my religion in that space is sacrifice. Like, if you look back into our history, like, it's not been easy, and there's been so many sacrifices. And I think that just gives you such a foundation to sit there and say, if I want to get far in life, I have to sacrifice. I have to give more. I have to do more, right? And that's something that I've definitely taken from my religion wholeheartedly, as well as the things of looking internally, looking deep into myself and being like, who am I? What is it that I want to do? How do I want to be seen by the world? And being true to that, rather than being something for somebody else. Like, if your actions are for something or something else or someone else, then you're not in a good position, right? And our faith really centers you to not do that.
Definitely. It's always important to stay true to yourself, be real to yourself, and not to follow other people and pursue what you enjoy doing. And I think, Nav Singh, you're a perfect representation of that within the community. And I think that's absolutely fantastic. And going forwards too, what kind of projects have you got lined up?
Um, oh gosh, it's obviously
I
trying
know I'll
to,
put you on the spot then.
yeah, like with lockdown, it's a very difficult time, right?
Yeah.
We're in a pandemic, so it's very difficult to plan ahead. So because the obviously it's constantly changing, the kind of landscape of the world, people's view of the world is totally changed. So for something like this or a topic like this, it's hard to push that message across at the moment. So I'm trying to find ways. I'm trying to
Mhm.
create the AIF space online in some sort of way, and trying to reconnect with people like you to get the message of what I'm trying to do further and out there to people, right? At this point, like, this is an
Definitely.
amazing time opportunity for me. Like, it's been on hold otherwise, the AIF initiatives.
I mean, hey, there's always ways that we can still do things during COVID. I got an idea right now that just sparked in my brain. We could do a little challenge. I
Amazing.
mean, people online can just post their football videos doing a certain skill, maybe scoring one of the goals in the back garden, and just hashtag Seachan on Apple Football, and we get that trending around. What do you think?
That would be amazing. Again, starting with that, like, kind of happiness, that the happy side of the sport, right? Rather than trying to make it always,
Yeah,
oh, we've got to be driven this. Let's just kind of create something, momentum, a space that it sits within our community. because it definitely does need that space, because there's too many people out there asking, how can we get in professional sport? How can we get into professional football? And I think we should make it a definite an area that we should pursue.
Definitely, that's right. So we set the challenge right now, guys. So if you enjoy playing football and you're watching from home too, go in your back garden, go in the local park. Remember to keep your COVID safety tips on hand as well. And remember to do some nice tricks, maybe some cool tricks with your friends, or even to score a nice goal. Record it and put it on social media, hashtag C channel, hashtag up and in football. And we'll be checking all those videos out right now.
Yes, we will, 100%. We'll be supporting, for sure.
Wicked. And I think the winner can maybe win. I don't know. We'll think of the prize. We'll think of something good for you guys. We'll think of something good. Maybe an Arsenal top.
Yeah,
Maybe.
we can get all those things in place, 100%. We can get all those things
Yeah.
in place.
Wicked. Awesome.
Um,
Awesome. So we got. So we got a lot of things lined up for the future, and we got Nav Singh's given us a lot of great advice on how to make it to pro and how to become a sports scientist and how you can actually enjoy the game and why you should enjoy the game and not take it too serious when things don't go your way. But when they do, make sure you work hard and always seek for professional advice. And that's how it is. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So Nav Singh, earlier in the earlier episode, you were talking about meeting different kind of legends, different kind of footballers. Who would you say is the funniest player off the pitch in the dressing room? Who would you say is the funniest player?
I wouldn't want to. There's a great sense of humor in football, outside of the game that just happens. It's just the environment that we're in, right? I think the most kind of like positive people around the club is people like, you probably see it, Aubameyang. He's always got a smile on his face. Lacazette always got a smile on his face, right? Just people like that. I had an opportunity to work with those individuals, and you could just see them as professional athletes, but at the same time they were very, very positive, very happy, very funny, constantly kind of can go from competitive to then just bringing it back down to just chilling out, relaxing, and just creating a safe and cool and happy environment.
Definitely, definitely. Have you ever had a chance to play football with these guys? Maybe on an off day, maybe on a nice Monday evening, playing with the lads. Have you ever done that before? I think that's a great idea. You should do it.
I think every opportunity every training session we're always involved. That's what the things that people don't see. Like, I'm so fortunate to witness the training every day. I'm seeing what they're creating on the Saturday or on the Sunday, and we're involved in that. We're understanding what we're planning for, right? And where we have to sit in as additions, because we can't have 50 players. So we, as staff, we have to get
Definitely.
involved. We have to understand what they're doing. If we're testing them, we got to get in their environment as well. So I have been involved. It's a fun experience. You do realize there's a different level, man. It's just these
Yeah.
lads are unbelievable.
That's incredible. That's incredible. And before we end off the show, I know you met Arsenal Wenger and Mikel Arteta quite a few times in your profession, and you, of course, you will meet them in the future too. In the next transfer window, is there a likely chance that I can maybe, put myself in the striker spot or winger? I believe they need a winger in Arsenal, so you
Yeah.
think you can sort that out for me?
Yeah, I will. I'll definitely share your videos to some of the people at work, some of the players, and see what they think. Right, and we'll see what we can
That's
do.
wicked. That's wicked. That's
Um,
wicked. And some of the
One thing I wanted to say is, if it's okay, is like, thank you again for having me on this. It's a great opportunity, and
that's all right.
I'm very thankful. And I just want to say as well, like, it's not just me that's in this industry that has are doing great things. There's so many other people, right? And like, there's a few to name: Jay Nagra at India Gymkhana. There's Shazil. There's Trishan Patel. There is Imral Ghazi. There's Anwar Uddin. There's Samir Soni. There's Ashvia Johal at Leicester. There is Bal Singh at KFA. There is Zoaib Rashid, who's Desi Ballers. If anyone doesn't know Desi Ballers, it's an amazing platform. Sonia Randev. There is Baljit Rihal. There's so many people that are in this space that are just like me, right? I wanted to give them a quick name because they're just as important as I am.
Definitely.
And obviously, my family
Definitely,
and friends, they know I've got a lot of love for my family and friends, right? I want to say, I want to give them a shout, but those individuals,
definitely,
especially, they're just as important as I am in this space, what we're trying to create.
definitely. I mean, the people who surround you are the people who make you today. So it's always good to give back and support them too. So shout out to the whole family, to all the people helping with the game too, which is absolutely amazing. And I want to say thank you, Nav Singh, for joining us today on this incredible show. We hope the show has been inspiring for everyone watching from home. And we wish you guys a lovely day. And remember to train hard and train smart. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa,
That's
Vaheguru Ji Ki
why
Fateh.